Hello, everyone. Happy Easter to some, not all, but some, I don't know. So anyway, exactly. There's a lot of things, right? And I'm not smart enough or religious enough to know them all. So, from my Catholic education and Baptist background, I'm confused. All right, let's go.
Raise your hand for questions. Right over there. Ramona, started with her. Or start with him. That's
You can
fine.
start with him, it's fine.
How you doing, Doc?
Good.
Game one, Harrell and Lou Williams became the first two players coming off the bench and scored 25 points in the same game in playoff history. What's the dynamic of them coming off the bench and not being starters?
Well, a lot of reasons. Number one, Lou loves his role of coming off the bench. I think it's great to have a guy like Lou in particular to come off the bench. I guess it's the same reason you wouldn't have a great reliever start the game in baseball. It's good to have someone to go to offensively. And Lou loves that role. Trez is more of a size issue in more than anything. And the fact that he can be with Lou. You don't really want to separate the two. We feel like when Trez starts, and he has started some, that the size kind of gets to him. The second guys are a little easier for him. And he brings a pace too for us, so that's why.
Ramona.
Doc, I know that you and probably Dennis are the only ones left from 5 years ago, but Game 4 was when I guess you were the last team to beat the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals or the Western Conference playoffs. What do you remember about that Game 4 after the tapes hit, the whole world is going to hell, right? And you guys, I think you ended up losing that game by 30. What do you remember about that Game 4 in that series?
I don't remember the game. That's the problem. It was just a long day. Dennis, no one knows that what was it, hour before the game. I'm on the phone with ownership. Having the most heated argument you could possibly have. Just a lot of stuff went into that game. I think I didn't get on the floor until a minute. If you ever look at that, because I was still in the argument about who was going to come to the game. When that was it. And so by the time I got on the floor, it was just, it was just a tough game. So listen, there was so many distractions. It was going to be a hard game to win. And I thought for us, after that game was the building. We had to figure out a way of get back to basketball. As simple as that was, because the event outside of that was so much bigger. But we were basketball players. I'm a basketball coach, and my job is to try to figure out how to get our guys to be basketball players again, at least by Game 5. But Game 4 was awful. I don't want that tonight, at least on the floor.
Doc, on that note, in your view, to what extent do you think the Sterling incident prompted players to feel more and more compelled to be outspoken on just different issues?
I don't know if it was the Sterling incident. I think there's incidents, period, that each time one happens, we grow. We speak out. Each time we think something is wrong, guns in schools, gun violence, anti-everything. Every time you see it and feel it, it becomes more personal. And I think each time that happens, one guy speaks out against it, another guy speaks out against it. And each time a person speaks out against something that is wrong, or is at least morally wrong, it gives everyone else courage to do it. And so in the Sterling incident, the fact that our players did that, I gave other players courage to speak out. The fact that Steve Kerr speaks out against guns, because he has a personal, obviously, attachment to that. It gets other coaches and other people to speak out. So I think we all, and it shouldn't be just us, it should be you two and everyone else. When you think there's something wrong, you should feel free to speak. The reason we all don't most of the time is because we're worried about keeping our jobs too much sometimes. And sometimes, the real pioneers of the world actually risk that, so.
Hey Doc, good morning. A couple of questions if you don't mind. Number
I have no
one,
choice. You know?
You could just say next.
Yeah, I could say next question, but I'm not going to do that.
number one, it seems like Gallinari is starting the games off slow. What do you do to try to get him involved early? And then number two, only 18 minutes from Pat Beverly in game 3.
Yeah.
Do you expect more minutes from him?
Yeah, definitely more minutes from him, and definitely we have to just keep Gal involved more. You know, those are key. Gal's key for us, obviously, and I have to do a better job of getting them in better spots.
Quick follow to Ramona's question. You guys obviously lost that game, and it was a traumatic kind of thing for you guys. But looking back at that whole series, are you proud of the way you and the team responded to that crisis, or whatever you want to say?
Yeah, very. I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, I didn't have that education for that. And I'm just being very honest with you. I really felt I was lucky in a lot of things that happened. That I did an interview on the funniest interview on Life. I thought it was just your pool. You know how in between games you do the whatever, but it was on the phone. So I just thought it was a phoner with I didn't realize that was live on ESPN.
Yeah.
And because no one told me it was live, and usually with my foul language, I say something, and for whatever reason, that whole interview, which was like 35 minutes, I didn't say one swear word. Just little things like that. But more important, the biggest part was that none of the players became the story. That was my only goal, is the focus should be on the guy that did the crime, or did that crime, but did what he said. And I was so fearful that one of my players would say something and then they would become the story. And none of the players became the story. So that's what I was most proud of.
Same starters today?
Most likely, yeah.
What are you waiting on now?
Waiting on the game. We may change, we may not. You'll never know. You know when you will know? Jump off.
All right, about 2 more questions. Let's go back to Ramona.
I was just clarifying. So you were saying you were on the phone with Donald then, right before that game?
Yeah.
Like
well,
you wanted to come to the game?
No, I wasn't on the phone with Donald. I was on the phone with someone representing him.
Oh, okay. So why do you think he thought it was okay to come to that game?
That is the $1 million question right there, Ramona. I mean, honestly, I had no idea. Front row. Yeah, I mean, it was, that would have been, well, you guys would have had a hell of a story. I guess you could have looked at it that way too. So, but that would have been unbelievable.
Like, in other words, did he not have any idea of how big a deal that was? Like,
Clearly, didn't. I mean, honestly, just clearly he did not. Listen, I didn't until we got to practice, but I was smart enough to know if Tom Brokaw is asking me questions and not Ramona, that something is different here today. You know what I mean? And so, that was it was Seth who. He was in a panic because he called me. And I mean, think about our PR guy is the guy dealing with this. And he ran in and said, I need you right now. And it was that. So it was unbelievable. It was just tough.
I mean, part of the reason I asked is, like, why do you think he didn't realize it was a big deal? Like, he had done so many other things, maybe.
I don't know, honestly. I put it like this. It took me 45 minutes to just beg not to come. And I don't know if he got it or not. I don't know. It was unbelievable.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.